Mr. Old Man, if you don't mind.
Okay, Mr. Old Man. What's up? All right, well, I appreciate you guys coming by today.
After last game, you kind of talked about Brett developing that me to you factor with Jordan and Shaq. I mean,
I thought he did a nice job.
Yeah.
You know, we had to call more of those me to you factor plays. No, I mean, I've always known Shaq, Jordan, Devin. I mean, it was exciting to see those. It was exciting to see Brett get the ball down the field to him a little bit. You know, we're still a little bit of a work in progress because of a little bit of our youth in the old line. So every game you have to be able to run the football. There's going to be times you have to be able to run the football. So that's something that we're still working on. You know, trying to improve at, get better at every day. You know, and even in the game, those are things that you know, you got to look at. Okay, where you want to be. You know, 2-3 weeks from now. So you got to every day. You can't just throw it out and say, well, we can't do that. All right, so that's just my philosophy on it. So kids have been working hard, and I'm excited about how they came out and you know, shook off a little bit of the overhang. You know, first couple series they kind of shook it off and persevered a little bit and started making some big plays. And I thought Brett really played well.
Given some of the injury situations in the backfield, how important is it for Damien to really get a head of steam towards that?
Yeah, it's exciting to see him back on the field, isn't it? You know, I know he's worked really hard, you know, since his injury, you know, all through off season, through camp, through the whole thing, and now he's finally, I think, this last week or so, starting to feel comfortable with himself, with being the old Thiggy. And he could really obviously is a huge asset to our offense, so it's kind of exciting to get him back in the fold.
A player with his kind of abilities, does that change what you can do offensively with his kind of speed and burst?
Yeah, it means some of those ones we hand off might go for 20 instead of 4. But you remember last year, you know, we were lucky enough to have Jonathan back in with Thiggy. You know, they had to kind of worry about Jonathan, and so we kind of sneak Thiggy around the field and get the ball to him. And where I think now he's got to be more of the focal. You know, he's a guy who can step in and be more of the focal point in the running game. Instead of the side dish, he can maybe be the true entree.
There was a play earlier in the year where you had Thiggy all the way down the field.
I give great.
Is your mom 100% with you now?
No, she's like 75-25.
That one pass got you 25%.
Yeah, that one pass got me 25%. Hey, and she's like everybody else. Well, why didn't you call it more? I don't know, Mom. Sorry.
How many brothers and sisters you have?
5.
Are they successful at their jobs?
A lot more than I am.
You had Damien going down the field earlier in the year. I think Brett almost had him for a touchdown. Is the downfield pass something that you're able to open up more with the running backs with Damien back?
You know, a little bit. You know, that's just kind of like a couple times a game thing when you're hitting your running back down the field on routes. Yeah. Because to do that means you've got to hold the ball a little bit in the pocket. No, what I was excited about is Brett is, you know, we've got some, you know, Shaq and Fuller and, you know, Devin Lucian and those kids, you know, they got some downfield ability. And, you know, that's my job to, you know, give Brett the opportunity to get the ball down the field to him.
What do you see is still missing from the run game? Is there anything that, in particular, that needs to happen in the next few games?
Experience.
Yeah.
Experience. You know? There's no secrets to it, right? You know, I mean, we're all good, right? Hopefully, we're all a little bit better at our job. Most people, right? Not myself included. Not myself included, all right? But hopefully, you're a lot better doing your job in the 3rd year you did it, or the 4th year you did it, than the 1st year you did it, or the first 2 weeks you did it. You know, and that's just nothing but experience. So then we've got, I mean, there's 4 or 5 true freshmen out there at any given moment on offense, and they work hard, and they're all good players. But it's just, you know, they just got to have the experiences that go in playing major college football.
Jake said yesterday that there was a point in that Colorado game where he could just kind of tell that the line had reached a point where there was like kind of cohesion I guess, with the group that they have right now. Could you?
Yeah, and it's so hard. It's so hard. You know, nobody. We kind of overlook that, but you get used to playing to a guy, next to a guy, and knowing, the calls and knowing how he plays and how I play off him, and then all of a sudden it's a different guy, or all of a sudden I'm not a guard, I'm a tackle. I mean, it always bothered me even just to move one guy, not 3 or 4 guys, and then on top of that compounded that there's not a lot of experience in that group. Is that I agree with Jake. I mean, just they've got to work together as one, as we all know, as one. They're making calls, and Jake kind of runs that whole thing. And one play looks over, it's this guy, next day it's somebody different. So it takes a while for them, that cohesion to be developed. And I agree with them. I think that's a really talented young group. I think the more and more those guys play together, right? Then they learn each other. They learn how to, learn how to play together as one group. And I'd be honest with you, I'm really, really excited about the upside of that whole group.
How big has Questenberry been, just kind of stepping in, and it seems like he's gotten up to speed pretty quickly.
He's a dude. Love the guy. He's played 2 games. I think I counted it up. We got, there's like 4 guys in or 3 guys in the offensive line that had, between them, had like 11 starts. Okay, now I'm ready for I want to do these interviews, all right, when I'm standing up here and I got 5 guys that have like 65 starts among, each, all right, and that's what it takes. I mean, offensive line is a difficult position to play. It really is, and I can remember when I would get nervous if I was a junior, senior offensive line and I had to play a redshirt sophomore even in there. Or, I would consider that a young offensive line guy that I had to put in there, because it just takes so much experience to be really good at that position. And this group, like Jake says, this is really a good group, and they really have started to really play together. Let's hope they can just continue, they'll just continue to keep getting better and better. All right, guys? Cool.